everyone, this is Rika Costillas. Today I am going to show to you the tragic story in Greek mythology, and also this story could be viewed as the importance of not gossiping. So bear with me as I am going to share to you the summary of the story of a beautiful young man and his dearly beloved wife. So let's go! But no, I think my energy doesn't fit for the story I'm going to read, so let me just say, let's go. But seriously, let's go! Cephalus and Procris. Cephalus enjoyed hunting and would get up early to hunt in the woods. The story begins with Aurora, the goddess of dawn, stealing Cephalus up into the heavens because she fell in love with him. Cephalus, however, had just recently married his wife Procris, whom he dearly loved. He told Aurora that he loved his wife and wanted to go back to her. Aurora gives in but warns him, "I will let you go back to your mortal wife, but I'll warn you that someday you will be sorry to see her." So Cephalus goes back to being happy with his wife on earth. Procris, his wife, despite of being a mortal, was a favorite of a goddess. Diana, the goddess of the hunt, favored her, and as a token, she gave her a dog that could outrun all other animals and a javelin that would always hit its mark. Procris gives both of these to her husband to use while he hunts. Then one day, it turns out that an unknown god has created and let loose a fox to harass the countryside. The townspeople are unable to capture the fox, so they ask Cephalus if he would help. Cephalus lets loose his dog after the fox, and his dog takes off so fast that no one could ever follow him with their eyes. The people go to a hilltop to watch the hunt, when all of a sudden, both animals come to an immediate stop. The gods had turned both animals into stone because, being that both were gift from the gods, they couldn't have one beat the other. So life continued happily and the same as before. Even though Cephalus' dog had been turned to stone, he still had his javelin and went hunting daily with it. One day, after becoming tired from hunting, Cephalus takes a break by a stream. He takes off his clothes and was saying things to the breeze like, "Please come and fan my chest, breeze. You know how I love you. You make my solitary hunting trip so pleasant." As it turns out, someone was walking by and heard Cephalus talking to someone like that. That person then rushes to tell Procris about her husband cheating. Procris first faints, and then, when she comes to it, she doesn't believe. She says that she didn't want to believe it until she hears and sees it for herself. So the next day, she sneaks out and follows Cephalus as he hunts. Then when he takes his usual break by the stream to cool off, he begins talking to Breeze the same way. Procris is hiding in the bushes and she heard it all. She begins to cry softly, and Cephalus heard the noise from the bushes. He thinks he's a wild animal, so he throws his javelin, the one that Procris gave him, and it hits her. He hears his wife cry out, and when he goes over, he sees her bleeding and dying. They both try to stop the bleeding, but it doesn't work. As Procris is dying, she makes one last wish to her husband. She says, "If you can do me a favor after I'm dead, please, just don't marry that horrible Breeze. Cephalus understands the confusion, but it's no use to tell her. She dies, and somehow, he is able to relate the confusion to his wife, and her face becomes calm in death. And so that's all for the summary of Cephalus and Procris story, and it really have a tragic ending. But moving on to the allegory to present-day realities, the myth of the huntman Cephalus and his wife Procris was presented as the parable of the misfortunes caused by a lack of marital trust and fidelity. Just because Procris have heard a thing from someone about her husband cheating, it made her become suspicious that Cephalus is being unfaithful to her. That is why she followed him into the forest, which leads to their tragic ending. And as we can see, these days, one of the major problems in a relationship is the lack of trust to their partner. Bluntly, these stories have greatly reflected among the situations that a relationship might encounter, because people can really be easily deceived of what they heard from other people. I mean, if only both parties in their relationship could offer pure trust to their partner, I think none of these things would happen. But only if people do. So that ends for my report of the tragic love story in Greek mythology. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I do. Thank you for listening.